Hello and welcome. Good morning. It might not be morning for you when you're listening to this, but it is surely morning for me. I've got my beverage here, if you can hear it. Today we are drinking a freshly pulverized cucumber juice, water thing, whatever you want to call it, with some lemon and lime juice also in it. And honestly, way better than celery juice. I'm going to say it. Any of you guys drinking out there, if you're drinking celery juice in the morning, you need to try cucumber juice. Like, for real. And I know there's multiple varieties of cucumber, so you've got options. Yeah, guys. Okay, so today is February 2nd, and what that means, if you are on Long Island, that means that we are in day 2 of our snow day. We here at Stony Brook, we got notified last night that we were going to have another snow day today. I think technically it said classes are going to be canceled until 1 o'clock p.m. But, everything's fine, so whatever. Like, I don't have classes until 1 o'clock p.m. anyway. All my classes are at night, which is honestly the least ideal for me as a person. I'm such a morning person. It's literally 8 o'clock, and I've been up for hours, like, doing things. But, whatever, it's fine. And we're going to just roll with the punches. Today, I technically have jazz this evening, but I also have to leave early from that class because I have to take a translation exam, an Italian translation exam. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is all online also, like, in case you're wondering. My classes are not in person, which is honestly really sad. But, it is what it is. So we'll just keep on going until we are rewarded with human interaction. Let's see, what else has been going on? I feel like snow days are so, like, special in a way that I, don't even deserve. Like, this past weekend, I had been working all weekend. I had been working, physically going into work on Saturday and Sunday, and I had lessons all weekend. I had makeup lessons. I had other lessons. I'm just starting out with a new teaching job, online lessons, and, I was kind of anxious going into this week, not gonna lie. A little bit nervous because I was like, okay, cool, starting the semester off, without a weekend and just, going right into it, I guess. Hope I don't burn out in the first week of school. But, here's the universe throwing me 2 snow days back to back right at the beginning of the semester. Thanks so much. Oh my God. Thank you. So I'm super excited about that because this morning, you better believe it, girl, I was up. I did kind of sleep in. I usually wake up at 5. But so I slept in. I woke up naturally at 7. And we've been doing dishes. We've been making juice. We've been living our lives. I've got some laundry to take care of. But yeah, man, it's been a good morning. And I've got some lessons later today as well. What are you guys doing today? What are you doing? I feel like sometimes I miss knowing what's going on in other people's lives. Because you technically kind of know when you're, on social media and stuff. You can kind of see, you can look at people's stories. You can look at people's, posts or whatever. But, actually physically being with someone, all day. I'm specifically thinking of, when you're in a production. When you're in a show. Either an opera or a musical or whatever. And you just know that you and all these other clowns are going to be around each other for hours and hours and hours every day. And you can depend on that. And it's not a bad thing. You all are going to be hanging out from 5 p.m. until 10. Or maybe earlier, maybe like 3 to 10 or something if it's tech week or whatever. But I kind of miss that. I really love that. Obviously, like, I was listening to a podcast while I was doing my dishes, and they were talking about how they were like, I feel like this past week has been like a tipping point for people. Like, we got through the election and, you know, we're living our lives, but we're just kind of counting down in the back of our minds the days until, like, I think they said March 12th, which was our first, like, day of, like, government lockdown, you know? And, like, that's marks, like, a full year of, like, the pandemic, I guess. I know it started earlier than that, but it is kind of disgusting and terrifying to think that we have been in this for a year, and it really, really, really does not feel like a year has gone by. I don't know about you guys, but it feels like a weird fever dream where time is kind of doesn't really make sense. It's not really a concept. Like, you feel like you've been going through time, but it's like the trauma that you're enduring makes you not experience time in the normal way, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's very sad to think about, you know? Oh, we love a cucumber water. What the heck? It's just so good. What the heck is up with that? I'm going to keep it a little bit short today because I got to go to the post office, and I've got to, go on a little adventure out into the snow. I need to run some errands. Did you finish those errands? Why do I literally, this podcast is so funny to me because I just sit here and talk to myself. Like, I am talking to you. Like, trust me, I know you're there. I know you're listening. If you're listening to this, I'm not, like, ignoring you. Okay? Don't be upset. But also, I kind of just, like, crack jokes that I think would be funny. Like, I have no regard for other senses of humor. Like, I sometimes do, but not, like, 99.9% of the time. It's like, I'm just going to say this because it would make myself literally laugh in this moment. Oh, like, just then. You know? Like, I have no regard for other senses of humor. I'm sorry. Mine is just too important. Oh, man. Kill me. You know, I am so freaking hilarious. Like... And this is what I mean. Like, this is what I'm saying. All of these things that I'm saying right now, you might not think are funny. That's fine. But I know that I'm funny, okay? So I don't even need your approval. And, oh, man. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to do our segment, our minute sketch of our composers, because you got to take your vitamins today. Are you drinking a cucumber water right now? No? Okay, well, looks like you're going to need some vitamins then, because I don't know what vitamins are in a cucumber, but I know there's some. So we'll give you some music history ones. Also, we're missing out on a very large segment of our podcast. If you're new here, we usually have the doggies barking segment of the podcast, but I think it's too early for them. I think they're still sleeping. Anyway, let's see. Who do we got? Yesterday we had Wolfgang up in here. We had Mozart. If you want to hear his sketch, go listen to yesterday's pod. And of course, following our boy Wolfgang, none other than Ludwig, probably right? Ludwig van Beethoven. All right, so we've got Beethoven here, you guys. And his subtitle, of course, is The Colossus of Music. Damn, okay, Colossus of Music. All right, our authors they're really killing it with these subtitles lately. Okay. Beethoven. This giant came of a pygmy race. His father was a drunken band musician, his mother a cook. He was born in Bonn, Germany, December 17th, 1770, and here he spent a poverty-ridden and unhappy youth, beaten by his father when he failed to practice the piano, but making a credible public appearance as a pianist at the age of 8. Phew, sheesh. A few encouraging words from Mozart, whom he met in Vienna when he was 16, gave him a ray of hope, but months of weary drudgery teaching in Bonn almost extinguished it, until, in desperation, he returned to Vienna, resolved to study with Haydn and support himself as best he could. For the next few years in Vienna he flourished exceedingly. He and his compositions and his piano playing were everywhere welcomed. Friends appeared on all sides. Great ladies went on their knees to beg him to play for them, and he refused or consented as his mood of the moment dictated. Okay, playa. Oh my god. He called his friend and patron, Prince Lichnowsky, a donkey, and the prince smiled and continued to be his friend. Okay. But this period of happy productivity was all too short of duration. In 1800, he noticed with horror that he was becoming deaf. Panic seized him. He left Vienna and shut himself up in the country. But he continued composing, and in the music of this period we find poured forth the expression of his intense personal emotions. The years 1800 to 1816, known as his middle period, marked the transition from classic to the romantic period, or to the romantic composers who came later. Unfortunately, his disposition declined with his hearing. He became morose, suspicious, quarrelsome, but the music of his last period, from 1816 to his death, March 26, 1827, is the greatest of all. He could not hear the applause that greeted his Ninth Symphony when he conducted it, but he could hear in his mind the melodies he had to write. Thus his later music is more intellectual, losing, however, none the expressive quality of his middle period. 9 symphonies, among them the beloved Fifth, an opera, Fidelio, a mass of chamber music and instrumental and orchestral compositions, such as the famous Moonlight Sonata, attest his greatness. It is sad to record that this genius of geniuses died in poverty of pneumonia contracted while driving home in an open cart from the country home of a brother so parsimonious that he denied him the closed carriage which might have saved his life. What the heck? Okay, that's the end, but like, what the heck? I am so frustrated with this. Like, if you've been listening for the past, couple of days, all of these composers have like died in poverty. I find this very upsetting. I don't know about you, maybe it's just because I'm in this field and like it's very upsetting to know that like literally Beethoven died in poverty and like died of pneumonia. Like, wow, okay, that sucks. Yeah, dude, it's just so frustrating because it's like we all understand and just kind of accept the idea that these composers are like kind of set in stone as like, big wig kind of dudes who laid it all down for us way back when. But like, what's it all for? Just is it more worth? It's like values. Like, do you want to live your life while you're alive and like be successful and be happy and like not get pneumonia from an open cart and like not die in poverty? Or do you want people like hundreds and hundreds of years after you die in poverty, do you want them to remember your stuff and for you to be like immortalized through your music? Like, is that the true suffering for your art? Like, you have to die in poverty or something? Like, oh my god, it's so frustrating. I don't know. I go back and forth about that because some people would be like, oh yeah, I'd rather be immortalized through my music and like not care about what happens to me in my life. But then on the other side of that coin, I'm like, dude, for me personally, nah, I'm trying to live my life like right now, okay? Like, it doesn't matter to me what happens after I die. Like, I'm not gonna be here. Like, why would it matter? So I don't know. I think these composers, like, we kind of revere them as like royalty, like music royalty, but dang, they were treated like crap in their time. Like they got the short end of so many sticks. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to cut this podcast off right here. That was our minute sketch of the day, you guys. Hope you enjoyed. I really do feel like I am learning a lot from these little minute sketches, even if it just is like a review. Like, obviously, I've taken multiple music history classes in my life, but depending on when those classes were, or what the teacher decided we should learn, everybody has this really unique understanding of music history. So I think it's good to just keep refreshing it and to keep deepening your understanding of these composers and these people and these genres, blah, 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 Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did and you are not subscribed, go ahead, subscribe, and you can hit the bell notification and it will notify you every time I post. I post every day. This is a daily podcast, and this is a very low key. We're just chatting up in here. That's the whole vibe. So if you're looking for that kind of thing in your life, then I'm here for you, okay? And I'm here to crack jokes for myself. And if you happen to think those are funny, I mean, bonus for you, but it's also not intended for you. So I'm just kidding. I really appreciate all of you guys listening so much. And if you want to leave a comment and let me know if you're drinking cucumber water right now, we can be twinsies. But I'm not going to be drinking this when you're listening to it, probably. And like this video, all that good stuff if you wanna, no press, obviously. And yeah, you guys, thanks for being here. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whenever you happen to be listening to this. This, of course, is the Paper Soprano podcast, and I am your host, Heidi Schneider. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say to you, okay? Thanks for being here, I guess. All right, love you, mean it. Bye.